Good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is starting strength with your body weight and kettlebells. We have our kettlebells off to the side, and we'll get to those later. But first, we'll start with the body weight. Let us know in the chat what you're working on your own or what you'd like to work on in the class with us. And then, when Lauren comes back here, we'll play with the body. Let's get going. At the head neck first, we'll start with the chin tuck in. Next, add a rotation. I'll look to the right. Then I'll nod my chin down as to sniff an armpit and find my chin back to center. And then reset my head, neck, or gaze on the horizon. Repeat to the other side. So that's a rotation left, an armpit sniff. The sniffing's optional. Then to center, reset. Repeat the rotation. This time look up the side wall to the ceiling, and when your center, sternum, and hips line up, return the head to neutral. Lastly, rotation head neck, up the wall, find the ceiling, and then pull the crown head high, resetting again on that horizon. I like to mix up my stance every once in a while, so feel free to do the same. We'll do the similar actions through the rib cage. For that, I like my hands in tight and keep those shoulder blades squeezed in retraction. So, squeeze your butt cheeks too, and then add our rotation. Then we'll add this side bend to the back corner, and then circling to the front, connect that sternum to the hips, and lift to center. Repeat the other side. Rotation. Side bend to the back, circle around to the front, mobilizing the spine and the rib cage. To center. Repeat the rotation, repeat the side bend. This time we'll go around the back and then pulling the rib cage down onto those hips. And lastly, rotation. Side bend, little light back bend here through that upper back, and then return to center. Shake it out, place a hand on the belly, then a hand on the sternum or chest. Looking to make room with our breath. Take a 4-second inhale, pulling the belly button away from the spine. Fill it up like a big balloon. Then exhale, drawing that belly button back in towards your core center. Repeat that one more time. Breath in, fill up the balloon, and then exhale, pulling the belly in. Now keep that belly in tight and breathe into the chest. Take a breath. And exhale. The core is providing stability, filling up those lungs. One more time. Breath in. And then out. One more series of breathing exercises. Take a breath into the belly like a balloon, fill it full. And hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. And hold empty for 4. Repeat one more. Breath in, big like a balloon. And hold for 4. Exhale, drawing that belly button back to the spine, and hold empty for 4. With the belly button tight, breathe into the chest. Inhale. Hold full for 4 seconds. Slow exhale for 4. Hold empty for 4. The last time here, belly stays tight, breath in. Hold full, slow exhale, hold empty, and resume your breathing. Control the breath through today's practice, and from here, we'll send it to Lauren for some shoulders and squats.
Shoulders and squats. All right, let's start with our shoulders. Gently with your hands at your sides, we'll elevate our shoulders, shrugging our shoulders up into our ears, and then we'll pull them down, juicing the oranges in the armpits. Repeat again. Right now you're thinking about those shoulder blades staying flush against the rib cage and our arms staying at our sides. Then relax to center. Now from here, let's protract those shoulders or push them forward and then retract them like you're pinching a pencil, squeezing them together behind you. Repeat again. Notice that those arms should be staying on the seams of the pants, and it's just those blades moving or generating that action versus the arms doing the work. Last one, squeezing together, and then relax. From here, let's go into a light W shape. From this W shape, we have those ribs to hips. We could take that punch. We'll keep our shoulders pulled out of our ears, and we'll slowly extend our arms towards a T. Once you're in that T shape, let's try to rotate those blood donations up to the sky, or those elbow pits facing up. Now with your hands staying in the same line, can you rotate those elbow pits down towards the floor? As you do that, check in with the shoulders that they're not really rolling forward. It's just the arms in the sockets. Repeat again, rotating those blood donations to the ceiling, and then trying to roll them down. Come back to a neutral place where they may face forward, and pull those elbows in back to the W shape. From here, we'll elevate our shoulders once and then pull them down. And then with our shoulders pulled down, we'll extend our arms towards our YMCA Y. In that YMCA Y, make sure those elbows are nice and straight. Do one shrug or elevate again and pull down. Once those shoulders are down, pull those elbows back to the sides. One more move. We'll bring those arms a little tighter. Let's keep our elbows pointed forward as our hands go towards our ears. Now keeping our shoulders set, our ribs to hips, slowly extend those arms up towards overhead. Being honest that you're not arching your low back, but keeping that core braced. One shrug here, one pull down with straight elbows, and then continue pulling down as if you're doing your chin up to bring your arms back to your sides, and then slowly extend on the elbows, making those elbows work. Full extension, straighten them, hold, and then relax, easy off, shake it out. From there, step your feet just slightly wider into your squat stance position. Before you go anywhere, feel that pull by pulling the floor together underneath you like you're rippling it. Now keep pulling so much that your knees start to bend and you pull yourself down into that low squat, your safe low. Wherever you are low, your heels are on the floor. Your chest is lifted, spine extended, gently pushing out on those knees and hips and then driving down and away to stand up tall. Shake that out. We'll come back to the shoulders for a second and we'll do those squats one more time. This time for our shoulders, our palms face forward. Gently retract your shoulder blades or pinch that pencil between them. Now with nice straight elbows, extend your shoulders or reaching to the walls behind you. Keep your elbows nice and straight. Try to pull your blades together just a little bit more and then reach just a little bit more. Now keeping those blades pinching together, return your arms to the side. And then once they're there, relax your shoulders. Let's do that one more time. Blades retract together, elbows are straight, arms reach behind you into extension, keeping the elbows nice and straight. Then retract the shoulders together, try to reach a little further, then keep those blades pinching together as you return the arms to the side. Once they're at your side, slowly relax off and shake it out. From there, let's step back into that squat stance and come down low again. Feel that pull on the floor. The knees will start to bend. We're going to hang out in that low squat. Maybe you shift weight a little from side to side. You drive one leg open, other leg open, to center with that chest lifted, pushing down and away, to tall. Nice. Shaking that out, switching from some squats to some hinges.
Those hinges. Let's do 3 repetitions of our hinge going over the hallmarks. The feet just a little bit wider than those hips. Take those hands, chop on the hip flexors, and press the hips back. At this place, the shins are vertical. The shoulders are over top of those knees and shins as much as you possibly can, and feeling load on the hamstrings. Now press your feet away from center and extend those hips to tall. And don't forget the tension on the punch. Repeat, hinge. Push your feet out. That can turn on those side hips. At the bottom are the toes rooted heavy, are the shins vertical, and lifted butt just a little bit to feel the tension through the hamstring. Push out from center, extend those hips, cramp your glutes, brace your core. Repeat one more. Hinge. Push away from center as we descend in that hinge position. Next, allow those knees to go over the toes. Find the floor with the hands, and then walk back to either the modified planks position I'm showing or a full plank like Lauren. For 10 seconds, create tension, meaning cramp your butt cheeks, pull the hands and feet or knees together. Brace your core, squeeze your butt. Make this a high intensity moment. And then knees down if you're up and just relax for a second. You might feel the need to press back towards that child's pose, but keep your tailbone long, tailbone to ceiling. Repeat one more time. We're in a planks position, modified or standard. Pull the hands to knees. Cramp up the glutes. Build that nice connection between the rib cage and the hips with your butt squeeze, your lats pulling down, your core braced to take a punch, and then soften the tension. Squeeze your butt just a little bit. Control your descent to the floor through a push-up, and then let's flip over to our back for our first mobility get-up today. I have my left leg bent, my right leg's extended straight, and my left hand across my chest. Push through that bent leg, extending the hip, and pull on the elbow. In this position, gently shrug, but then press the floor away through the elbow. Next, transition to the hand or the tall sit, and let that shoulder round forward like Lauren's warm-up, and then pinch that pencil or retract the blade. Push through the floor, bridging or lifting the hips, sweeping the knee to a 3-point windmill. From here, take your chest and look towards the floor with your sternum. Now that your head and chest face the ground, look up with the head, rotate through the chest ribs, and then press the floor away. Look to center with the head, move the body next, and then heel toe that front leg to the lunge. Push forward through the front leg, push back through the rear, and extend the hips to stand tall. It's Lauren's turn for one more round of bodyweight hinges that we'll utilize first before we integrate the kettlebell load.
We'll start with our hinge again. Standing with those feet slightly wider than the hips. We'll take our hands, chop those hips back. Some important notes here. We have a nice long spine as if a rod is running through it. Those shins are vertical, toes are gripping. We feel that load through hamstrings and glutes, and we push down and away to stand up tall. As our hips extend, those glutes squeeze the core brace. Repeat again. Chopping those hips, keeping that nice long spine as you load up through the hamstrings and the glutes. And then we push down and away to stand up tall. Last one, we'll stay in that hinge position as we push those hips back. From here, we'll break some rules, tipping forward and walking out into that high plank position or modified. Let's pull the floor together underneath us. Squeeze the glutes, brace the core. Couldn't move you if I tried. You're as steady as a park bench for 4, 3, 2, knees tap down. Take a second off. Remember to keep that tailbone long. Relax, take a breath. Pull yourself back into that plank position, and one more time. We're up. We're squeezed, high tension, breathing though, gripping with all the fingers, pulling the shoulders down, pulling the kneecaps up. 3, 2, step as you need to into your push-up position and slowly lower to the floor. We'll flip over onto our back and we'll do our get up on the other side up. That means that right arm is across the chest. The right foot is flat on the floor with the knee bent close to the butt, and the left leg is out, the left arm is out. Push into the floor with the right foot, extending the hip, and then pull on the elbow. From here, we'll do one shrug of the shoulder, and then we'll push the floor away. Find your hand in that tall sit, and again, let that shoulder round forward, and then press the floor away, proud chest. Pushing into the floor with your hand and your right foot, lift those hips, and sweep your left leg underneath. From here, our head will look at the hand on the floor, and then our shoulders will rotate closed. Our head will rotate to the ceiling. Shoulders rotate to the ceiling. Pressing the floor away, hips extend. Head back to center. Shoulders back to center. Bring that side leg to the front into your lunge position. We have that back toe tucked. We're pushing down and forward and down and back to create tension to stand up to tall. Shake it out. Get out that kettlebell. We're going to hold it.
Hold in the Firing range position first. So we'll get down to the floor with no rules, but that firing range position is that first movement for the get up. So with no rules, or maybe make your own with maybe no hands, that could be a fun way to get down to the ground. And then we'll start by cuddling the kettlebell.
Cuddle.
For the cuddle, the pinky finger will go near a corner of the bell and slight wrist bend so it's a secured grip. Pack the shoulder, take your sniff, roll to your back, and press to the ceiling. Take away the second hand as allowed, ensuring the shoulder is packed and nice and stable with that load. Build time and tension underneath of this bell for strength, awareness, and safety if we were ever to proceed lifting this load as a get up. We'll hold for 5 seconds more. Is your core braced? Is your grip firm? Could you do it longer? If so, that's great, but I promise we're done. 2 hands on the bell, pull the elbow to the hip, come back to the cuddle, and then let go. Leave the bell where it is, turn yourself around, so that we'll do the same effort on the other side. My pinky goes near the corner. I firm up the grip. We pack the shoulder, take a breath to prepare, roll to your back, and with 2 hands, press. And now this is our firing range. Use 2 hands if you need. Grab a lighter load if you can't use 1 arm. And as you feel safe and strong, take that guide or second hand away and build strength and endurance and awareness underneath of the bell. Grip it. Stiffen the elbow. Pull the armpit to the hip, keeping that forearm nice and vertical. The core is braced. Heavy tension into the floor. And for 3 seconds left, go over that checklist one more time, and 2 hands on the bell, pull it down, and then to cuddle. Come back to that left side get up, so the left arm in the get up's position. We'll transition to standing through our get up. Push through the foot, pull on the floor, press to the tall sit next. We bridge, we sweep, we push the floor away, and then square up to front, including the leg, then push away. We're going back down to the floor, so we'll drop the leg you can touch, then open the leg to the side. The head, the body rotates, and we hinge to find the hand on the floor. Stack over top of that hand on the floor, sweep through. Watch that kettlebell if it's close, and push through the elbow, returning to your backside. Repeat on the other side. So we'll be here.
Firing range first, sorry, no, get up.
Just the get up, sorry. So in our get ups position, that right arm to the ceiling, push through the floor, pull on the elbow, transition to the tall sit, bridging next. Sweep the leg, push the floor away, head center, chest center, leg, and hiya to stand. Let's just pull that arm back down to that racks position that we'll get into later. Add a little shake. And now that we're standing, we'll just get into our second set of kettlebell holds, being the suitcase.
The suitcase. So we have our bell here, and we're going to keep it underneath our feet, right between our legs here. Stand on either side of your bell in your hinge stance. Let's use our hinge to push our hips back. We're going to grip the bell with 1 hand. Square up that other hand to the floor, or almost touching the bell so your shoulders are square. Sit back a little bit, preloading, and then zip up to tall. I like to narrow my stance here and bring the bell to the side of my body. Right now, if I was lazy, that bell would pull me over, but instead I'm using that lateral ab to keep me up tall. As I'm here, that shoulder's up and slightly retracted, supporting the bell in the socket. We're breathing, our feet are rooted in the floor, and our glutes are squeezed for 3, 2, step, bringing the bell back to center, both shoulders square to the floor as you hinge, putting the bell down, up without. Shake. Same thing, other side. Hip hinge, square up those shoulders to the floor, grip, pack, preload, and then up to tall. Use that step just to narrow the stance. Again, checklist, feet rooted, glutes and hips squeezed, pushing forward, core brace on that far side, shoulders supported, nice firm grip on that bell. Breathe for 3, 2. Then we'll step again, bring that bell to the front, stay square as you push those hips back, place the bell down, and up without. Nice. In between here, we'll do our get up on each side. One more time if we'd like.
I just like the carries too, and I should have taken Lauren's advice to do 2 sets of the firing range. Your call, your call.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it.
All right. We got to get ready for these trips we're going to go on one day. So let's lift this suitcase. Hip hinge. We grip with one hand. Pack the shoulders, stay square, preload, and then step the feet in, bring the bell to the side. Support it in its socket here. Wear that load on your glutes as well as those abs. Breathe, hold, feel work. Make this heavy. I could hold a 2-pound object and still make this work. It doesn't have to be heavy. 3, 2, bring it to the front. Use both hips to push back, place down, up without. Shake. Same thing, other side. Hinge. Grip, stay square. Pack, brace, preload, and up. Bring the bell to the side and hold. We were watching a YouTube video the other day of an excavator getting another excavator out of the mud, the things we watch these days. And they put these giant chains on. And it wasn't until the chains were taut that they started pulling the excavator out. That's what we mean by preloading. Bring that bell to the front, use your hinge, and place it down. I immediately said to Ian, look, they're preloading.
The preload.
It's very exciting in our house.
It is, it is.
All right, a get up in between.
You got it.
Clear the space if needed. Let's go down on the right. So we'll take that right arm across the chest. The leg we can touch. Drop back, slow down. 4, 3, 2, land. Front foot opens. Rotate head and shoulders. Push those hips back to hinge. Stack those shoulders and then sweep. Find the elbow. Press away from the elbow to find the back. Repeat on the way up. Push the hip in the floor. Extend. Pull. Find your hand. Pushing into the floor, we lift and we sweep. Push the floor away. Square up head and shoulders. Bring that front foot around. Push down and forward, down and back to tall. Same thing, other side. That's us throwing the kettlebells around. Not advised. Step back. Controlled descent. 4, 3, 2, and land. Front foot opens. Head, shoulder, rotate. Hinge on that hip. Hand finds the floor. Stacking the shoulders, sweeping. Find the elbow, and then slowly press away from the elbow to your back. One more up. Hip extension. Pull. Find your hand. Pressing the floor away to bridge, and sweep that leg long. Push the floor away. Head, shoulders square up. Foot comes to center, push into the floor, hop to tall.
To tall. And add that floss and shaking out. We have other kettlebell holds to get into today, and we'll start with the goblet. We utilize that goblet hold when we're squatting. Today, we'll cheat clean it up to that goblet hold and holding for about 20 seconds again. For that, we'll stand right over top of the bell, setting up the hip hinge. Grab the top, feel the preload, and when you do, push those hips through and zip up to this goblet hold position. This is a little heavy. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to talk, but that is also a good example of being able to work under duress and still breathe. So, are the shoulders retracted? Could you take a punch? Are you pushing those feet out and squeezing your bum? Go over that checklist for 5 more seconds, and then, with efficiency and quietness, return to the floor. And add the shake. Those wiggles in between, Lauren was flossing. I've been calling it the octopus wiggle lately. Anything to break up that tension, some relaxation, but then we'll come back to some tension. One more time in that goblet hold. The hip hinge, the 2 hands on, preload, zip to goblet hold. If you want an additional challenge, look through the bell. Making sure that you're slightly forward to load up those glutes abs as to not torture your low back. Bring the kettlebell back to the chest position and then return it to the floor. Looking through the window is a little bit harder there. We'll return to the floor through the get up, down up on one side, repeating then on the other. The arm could stay across the chest, or if our shoulder mobility permits, place that arm overhead. The leg that we touch drops back in the lunge and we scissor or pull ourselves down like Lauren. See, it was quicker, I'm nicer, right? Then we'll take that leg to the side. Rotate head, ribs, and incorporate the hinge, stacking on the floor. Then sweep. Find the elbow and push away from that elbow, returning to the floor. Reversing those steps, it's the hip extension, push and pull to the elbow. Transition to the tall sit. Bridge, sweep, hand leaves the floor. Head, ribs, and then hips find center, core brace to tall, and practice pulling that arm down like a groove, like an overhead press or chin up. Shake it, repeat on the other side. Overhead if you wish, cross the heart is just fine. The leg you can touch drops back, and slow and control is the best, so let's try to emulate that, Lauren, nice. Then open that leg to the side, navigating kettlebells if they're there, head, rotation, hinge, find the floor. Sweep a leg through to your tall sit, then find the elbow, and then push away from that elbow, returning to your back. Then we're coming up, so extend through the hip, pull on the elbow, transition to tall sit. It's the bridging moment, the sweeping moment, and press the floor away. Head center, shoulder center, hips next. Core brace to tall. Pack that armpit, pull back to this racks position. And this position here is where we'll hold our kettlebell for our last series today.
All right, sounds great. Get your kettlebell between your feet. This time I like to have my hand parallel with your feet. Handle. We're right over top of our bell. We're going to use our hinge and grip with one hand. Find that nice grip with the single hand. That's the side the bell's going to. Cuddle with the other hand. We're pulling this bell close to our body, zipping up our jacket and punching through. Once we're here, we have that vertical forearm and nice straight wrist. The bell is resting more on our forearm than it is on our bicep. Again, ribs to hips, glutes squeezed, feet rooted in the floor, slightly pushing out to feel that tension. For 5 more seconds, we're holding this and breathing. 3, 2, 2 hands on, keep it tight, use your hinge, put it where you got it. Shake, wiggle, same thing other side. Hinge, grip with one hand, cuddle with the other. Feel those chains lengthen and then up. Once you're ready, remove that second hand and again, tall. Try not to let that hip shift under the bell, but keep it through center. Vertical forearm, brace, squeezed, rooted, breathing for 4, 3, 2, 2 hands, keep it tight, park the bell, up with it. Shake it out, shake it out. Nice. Do it again. Sorry, I forget what's happening today. All right, same thing, repeating one more time. Use that hinge, we're back to that first arm. Feel that load, your shoulders already packed. You have that second hand on your preloaded, zip punch. Nice. Hips extended, glute squeeze. We're thinking one day we could press from this position. If we did, that bell would go straight up. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 2 hands. Keep it close. Put it right between those feet. Shake it off. We like that bell placed right between our feet because that sends our hips back. The further forward it gets, the more our weight shifts forward. Last time. Hinge, grip, preload, and punch. Nice. Remove that second hand when ready. Vertical forearm, hips underneath you, glute squeeze, core brace, all of those token words we say every day, 500 times. Keep doing them. Breathe underneath all of that for 5, 4, 2, 2 hands on, Use that hinge to place down. Moving your bell just slightly out of the way as needed. We have one more get up each side. All right, I'm gonna take my imaginary bell overhead. From this rack position, let's slowly press if you'd like to go overhead. If not, you still have that arm across your body. The leg you can touch drops back. 5, 4, 2, soft landing. Front foot opens. Rotate the upper body head, hip hinge, pushing it back. Now before you sweep that back leg, stack your shoulders, then sweep. Find the elbow, keep pressing away from the elbow to your back. All right, back up, hip extends, pull. Find your hand. Bridge, pushing the floor away, and then sweep the leg long. Extend the hips. Head, shoulders, front foot, to toe. If your bell is above your head, control the pull down, maintaining that vertical forearm to the rack position, and then just throw it away. Same thing other side. Rack, set shoulder, slowly press. Leg you can touch. 5, 4, you should know by now. 3, 2, and land. Front foot, head, shoulders, hip hinge. Hand finds floor. Stack the shoulders, sweep the leg, find the elbow, and then press away from the elbow to your back. We're coming back up. Hip extends and pulls. Find your hand in that tall sit. Pushing the floor away, we lift and sweep. Hand leaves floor, hip extend, shoulders, chest, foot, pushing forward and back to stand up tall, and then control that pull down to the rack.
Chuck it. For now. And hopefully not chucking a real weight, because that would make some extra noise and maybe the neighbors downstairs don't like that.
Not to mention danger.
And danger. Watch those toes too. Finishing today's practice, the kettlebell swing. We warmed up the deadlift and we've lifted up that kettlebell in the suitcase. Let's challenge ourselves aerobically and with our strength as we prepare with the hike pass. I go, you go. Lauren will go first, and if you know what's going on, let's do 5 repetitions with her. And if you're a little more unfamiliar, wait, and then we'll do it together with me. Follow one of us, rest with one of us, do half the numbers of reps that we'll be doing combined. As you see, Lauren's behind the kettlebell. She'll set up that hip hinge and place the hands on the top of the bell's handles. Tipping the bell, preloading, load up that chain, pull to the zipper, and park. 5 repetitions, pull, park. As you can see, Lauren is staying the same height. We're avoiding the standing up moment at this place and really focusing on loading up, pulling the bell to the zipper.
Whew. Legs are burning, core is burning. So if you were watching, it's your turn. Setting up behind your bell, use your hinge, grip the hands on the bell, tipping it. From here, pull the bell to the zipper of your pants and park. Keep that bell tight to your body as you pull it. That'll keep more load on your hamstrings and your glute than that low back. Last one or so here. Park it with control, up, without, and straight.
Sets of 2. So let's repeat that again. Hike pass. Personalize your stance, but generally it's going to be feet wider than hips with feet rooted heavy. Pull that kettlebell onto the hips through those armpit lats. What is your breathing? Maintain your core tension and the breath underneath.
Whew. Shaking it out in between. Team Ian's going here. Setting up in that hinge, that preload, and then pull. Always keeping that bell tilted on its sides. That'll prevent our shrugging action. Thinking about those lats as you pull the bell back. And up without.
And up without. In between sets of our hike passes or our swing progressions, let's do repetitions of up to 5 push-ups.
Oh.
Utilize that hinge to get...
I was thinking I felt them from last night's workout.
Oh, well, maybe one's for you. Maybe just that high plank.
I'll just do it.
No matter what we do, fill it with high tension. Hinge on those hips, hands to floor, and then lengthen out in your push-ups position from the knees or standardized up above. Take a breath in, core brace, pull down, and press. Pull down, and press. 3, and 2 more. And then last time, press. Walk those hands towards the feet, implement the hinge, and extend the hips to tall. Add the shake.
Wasn't so bad.
What comes after the hike pass there, Lauren?
I heard it. The stop swing.
The stop.
So for our stop swing, we'll set up in that hinge position again. Just start like you did the last time, tipping the bell. This time though, a hike pass, then hips drive through, and park. Pull, swing hips, through, and park. Each time as those hips drive through, we're in that upright plank position we practiced earlier. Both glutes are squeezed. You could take that punch, and we're swinging the bell to about chest height here, keeping those shoulders retracted.
Whew. 5 is enough to get that heart rate going and to groove the shape for your swing. Shake it out in between, pop with power, and park with precision. We're working on the timing here. Lauren's in her plank, delaying the plank, and park. The plank, delay the plank, and then to the floor. I believe that's her last one. That got my heart rate going. That was a little bit hard to talk over. So take a breath in, force it out, and let's repeat that one more time as well.
Setting up in that hinge position, pulling each time. Pull, both hips come through at the same time, and park. You can hear Ian's breath. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Good, match that exhale as those hips snap through so that you can keep that core tension embraced.
Thank goodness I'm done those. Lauren's team has one more set. Stay loose between and work on that high tension plank. When that kettlebell is out front, Lauren can take that, karate chop to the abs. On the way down, she's as tall as she can for as long as she can before her hips shoot back to load up on the swing. Shake it out. How are your push-up numbers going? You can always let us know in that comment section or send us an email. I'm going to stick that number 5 unless someone tells me differently.
5's
Nope.
good.
Okay, 5 it is. Hinge. Walk out. Set up. Press or pull down. And press. And press. And press. We have that butt squeeze, the full body tension. Last time, walk your hands back. Use your hinge, narrow or wide stance, and extend the hips to tall. One last series of drills here, linking all that together for 5 repetitions of our continuous swing. I went first last time, so it's Lauren's turn to go now. And for 5 reps, hard style swings. Prepare with the tip. Pull it to the zipper. 1 and 2 and 3. 2 more repetitions. Stay powerful, stay strong. Use your bodyweight grooves on some of those other videos in the archive, as well as those private links. Stay safe, stay strong.
Let's get going.
Let's do it.
5 swings here, setting up in that hinge. Pull and snap. So that more dynamic or ballistic approach here, but keeping that breath and keeping all the lessons we learned through those breakdown positions.
5. This is our last set of swings. We started strong. Let's finish stronger. 5 swings, high tension, feet gripping the ground, kneecaps pulled up at the top, and always that strong brace.
Nice. Team Ian here. Remembering if you don't have a bell or don't want to do it with a bell, we could be practicing those chop and pops, bodyweight groove, the shadow swing, or even the deadlift.
Oh yeah. One last set of push-ups, and then we'll stay on the floor. Hinge. Buck those back. Tip forward. Hands find the floor. Push-ups position nice and high or modified from the knees. Pull down. Press up. Pull down. Press up. This is number 3. And 4. And last one. And then knees down. Push to the floor away. Shake it out. Let's just find ourselves in a nice restorative hip stretch, coordinating back to those ribs and head as well. Simply 90-90. It's on the elbow. So my elbow is on the ground, and then visualize yourself in that lunge position, 90 degrees at the knees. This back hip, like I'm showing here, is more than likely open. So pull the front leg into the hip socket and extend or push that top hip forward. Maintain this position throughout. Now, at the head neck, look to the elbow on the ground. Then, rotate through the rib cage so that the sternum faces towards the floor. Is that back butt cheek pushing forward? Now look up to the ceiling, head neck first, and then open through the ribs. At this place for 1 rep, push the hip forward, pull the bottom leg in, and look back to the ground with the head. Let the rib cage follow. Push that top hip forward, and then look up. Ribs next. Push the floor away, and then let's just switch to the other side. Same effort there, Lauren. Coach us through it.
Same effort. So we have that 90 degrees at the front knee, the 90 degrees at the back knee, and the feet are in that flex position also at 90. We'll find that elbow right in line from our hip, and we'll take that top arm just across the chest. Or take that top arm and squeeze your back cheek, pushing it forward. Now, arm across the chest. Head rotates to look at the floor. Shoulders rotate to look at the floor. Head rotates to the ceiling. Shoulders rotate open. Try to keep that shoulder nice and proud and that hip extended one more time. Head looks down. Shoulders close up. Head looks up. Shoulders open up with that back hip still extended for 3, 2, gently relax. Press the floor away and just make your way to a comfortable seated position.
Excellent. This has been our beginner kettlebell and bodyweight strength workout. Improve those basics, and we look forward for you to joining us at one of Lauren's killer kettlebell classes on Tuesday. Progress to the clean, the squat, the press, the loaded get up, and all of our other favorite movements, but focus on these basics first. So thank you for our members. We look forward to sharing more of our summer excursions and our favorite strength techniques with you in the link letter. And if you want a link letter and you want to subscribe to your strength to help us and you and build community, barsandbells.com/membership. That's all I have. Anything to add, Lauren?
We're back in studio for some small group classes,
Nice.
So if you're in town, you should come. Sign up now. It's
Sounds
live.
good. Free bag of coffee for those who do. Check it out.
Until next time, take care, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks for coming.